Rightio guys, in this episode we're going to talk a little bit about Annapurna circuit and everything that you need to know to do Annapurna circuit unguided.
Exactly.
Alright, so firstly you're going to need permits and a thing called a TIMS card, and you're going to pick that up from Kathmandu, from the Nepali tourism board, and that's located at probably about a 15-minute walk from Tamil. It's open Monday to Friday, 10 AM to 5 PM. And you're also going to need 4 passport photos as well as your passport to prove who you are. And that's all you're going to need for trekking in the Annapurna region.
Alrighty, so on the circuit, there's no ATMs along the way. You need to basically start the trail with enough cash to allow you to finish the trail. So just to give you a quick breakdown, I spent about 50,000 over the course of our hiking, which was 16 days. That included snacks sort of whenever we felt like it, things like Snickers, Cokes, a few beers along the way for Marty's birthday. So we could have done a lot cheaper than we did.
Well, like I was probably spending about 3,000 RS a day on food, but I knew a couple that were spending 1,500 between them.
What we'll do, just off to the side, we'll give you a little idea of
which side? Are they gonna
that one?
This side.
Yeah.
Confuse me, Joel.
Just a little breakdown of a few staples on the trail and what they cost, things like water, your daily meals, etc. Accommodation we found was for free for the most part, super basic. Once or twice we paid, but the maximum we paid was like $5 for a night, so it's not exactly a silly amount.
So guided versus unguided. We chose to do the Annapurna circuit unguided. For us it worked better. We didn't need someone holding our hands. We're quite capable. That's not to say that doing it guided is a bad thing. If you're interested in the history, the geography of the Annapurna region, then sure, go ahead, get a guide. But the one thing I would recommend is you want to meet your guide first and make sure you get along with them.
Yeah.
We saw plenty of guides.
There's a lot of difference across the board what you're going to get out of your guide.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, what I liked about not having a guide is we could set our own pace, we could do what we needed to do.
Mm-hmm. You got a flexible schedule, yeah. and that's suited us better. I would recommend doing it unguided, but each to their own, you know.
Exactly.
If you are doing the walk unguided, you're going to need a map with you, and you can buy plenty of maps in Tamil. And I'll also advise getting an application like Maps.me, which has the whole circuit routed out for you perfectly. That way you're not going to run into any issues. There's also red and white paint marked along the whole trail. There's also blue and white paint for side trails. For some sections there is no paint there. You sort of need to be a bit intuitive and sort of look ahead. But there's always a way.
At the end of the day, there's a road that goes around the whole place. You can't.
Exactly. If you run into any dramas, ask one of the locals, and they'll be able to tell you exactly how to get to the town that you need to get to. The locals are very helpful.
And they pretty much all speak English too.
Yeah. And yeah, language barrier as well. I was a little bit worried about the language barrier going into the Annapurna region. If I'm going to need to know keywords, all you're going to need to know is Namaste, which is hello and goodbye, and Dhanibat, which is thank you. Everyone speaks English perfectly. You won't have an issue ordering food, accommodation, or buying anything. It's all sorted.
It's almost too easy.
Yeah. Joel, tell us about some of the dangers associated with the Annapurna circuit.
So
what issues could you run into?
There's really just one huge one that you got to be very much aware of, and that is AMS, altitude sickness. Mm-hmm. So altitude sickness is essentially when you have when you're not getting enough oxygen into the body because the oxygen content diminishes the higher up you go, mm-hmm. and that can cause things like swelling around the bottom of your brain, and a whole range of things that are very, very serious and can cause death quite easily. Mm-hmm. So you just got to respect the altitude that you're at. Make sure you take your acclimatization days. Menang's always the main one that people recommend. Mm-hmm.
Everyone that we met on the trail that had altitude sickness, they were coming down the mountain as we were going up. We had some quick words with them, mm-hmm. and they didn't stop in Menang for an acclimatization day. So you want to stop in Menang for a day. We stayed there for a couple of days just because it was my birthday and whatnot, and all that. But yeah, and take it slowly. If you feel any of the effects of the altitude, you stop, have a rest. you probably get better and then you keep going on. If it doesn't get better, you want to come down the mountain. But talk to your doctor.
Exactly.
Because we're not doctors and you really need to get some proper advice. But there are seminars in Penang on altitude sickness.
And they'll test your oxygen levels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There is medication like Diamox that you can take as a preventative. Once again, have a chat to your doctor about it. They're the ones that really need to be giving you proper medical advice. But yeah. What else was there? There's landslides and that as well, to keep a bit of an eye out. Main thing with landslides is look up the mountain. If you see a bunch of bloody sheep running around, don't go chasing them. Walk in the other direction and try and avoid those rocks that are going to come tumbling down after them. If there's animals above you, just wait half an hour till they've moved out of the way.
No, well, Joel almost got cleaned up at Attila Lake by a rock like this big. He was 5 meters away. If that hit you,
all over.
I'd be doing this video by myself. All right, so heat stroke. So this young man here, we almost lost him. Damn it, almost. No, but basically we were walking around Tal. It was really hot. Sun was beaming down, and I was having lunch. I was just chilling. I'm like, "Do you want anything to eat?" He's like, "No, I'm all good. I'm sweet." Okay, sweet, cool. And then half an hour later, he was wrecked. He was cooked, and he actually collapsed on the ground. And yeah, he was like shaking and like it was crazy. So yeah, just watch out for heat stroke. Stay hydrated. Just because you're in the Himalayas doesn't mean
If you can't go any further, if you feel like you can't go any further, just don't. Like when you get heat stroke, you do get a little bit confused as well. So you generally can't make proper decisions, but you just need to be aware of each other and what's going on. And what else is there? Tapas. Maybe Marty can fill us in on tapas, I feel like that's definitely his forte.
Yeah, so you can't really watch what you eat. You don't know what sort of cooking standards and hygienic standards they're working with in the kitchen. The food might be completely on point, but you might have a little bit of cutlery that's got a little bit of fecal matter on it or something like that.
I mean, the big ones, the cloth they use, they'll wipe everything with their cloth, the same cloth all day. Their hands, the bench, the plate, the cutlery, everything.
I got struck down in a place called Dana. I was wrecked. I was defecating just pure blood, and I couldn't walk. I was completely stuffed. It took me like 2 full days to recover, and there's not much you can really do to prevent that from happening because you've got to eat. So that is a risk. It's something that happened to me personally. So food on the trail, the quality of food on the trail is not amazing. I would probably recommend eating dal bhat, which is a local Nepali dish. It's got rice, lentils, some spinach and stuff like that. It's very nutritious, and you also get as many servings as you want, so it's also quite cost effective.
And most importantly, it's prepared fresh every day, so
exactly.
You're not eating something that's been sitting around for 3 or 4 days like it could be if you pick some random dish that no one orders.
Yeah, for sure. But I found there was a lack of high quality protein on the track, which is why I brought my protein shaker with me. So this is my protein shaker. I have a little Glad bag with the protein in it, which I store inside my shaker so it doesn't pop and break along the way. That's a really good way to get your protein intake in without having to buy like 10 eggs a day if you're worried about losing all your gains like I was, which I did, which is another story. We'll get to that later. So while I'm talking about food, I should also mention toilets. You will encounter Western toilets along the trail, but you're also going to encounter some squat holes. So you need to be prepared to be able to do your business in a squat hole. It's inevitable, right?
Unfortunately, yeah.
And that's that. So if you got really bad knees or you can't crouch down or something, then best of luck to you. You might be able to take like a little chair and fabricate something along the way. But
and you need to always have your own toilet paper on you.
Yes. This is crucial.
All right, so having covered food, we also need to think about water on the trail. We carried no more than 1 or 2 liters at a time because there's just water everywhere. However, what we found best was using the SteriPen, just to cut down on costs, and I already owned one. So basically SteriPen scrambles the DNA and viruses and bacteria and stuff like that, so it's safe to drink. You can buy water for like $1 maximum absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
So
and it's probably also worthwhile mentioning that on the Annapurna circuit, there's towns everywhere.
Yep.
You're never going to get caught out or lost or in the middle of nowhere. There's always a town, there's always water. You can buy everything you need. So it's it's not really that off the beaten track, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and Throng La would probably be the only day I would have taken more than the 2 litres. Just because you want to stay hydrated, you need some serious altitude. So, alrighty, so let's talk about footwear on the pass. Well, for the circuit. What I used were some nice sturdy boots like these bad boys right here. They probably smell a little bit now, but if that's like filthy, we'll get rid of them. That's what I recommend for the trek. We didn't come across any mud or anything like that, but it's just for the pass. Going over the pass, heaps of snow, keeps your feet dry, and you can put a set of micro spikes on them. Did see a few people rocking the old trail runners like these bad boys. For me, I just don't get the ankle support I want in these when I'm carrying sort of 10 to 13 kilos on my back and going through the snow and that. Just wasn't worth the risk of wearing them. But what's not appropriate is something like these bad boys. Great for around the hut, but definitely not on the track. But what did you wear, Marty?
Well, it's funny you asked that, Joel. I actually wore this set of slippers here for the whole track. If you want to have a look at that, like not a bad grip on the bottom, but absolutely no laces or anything. The reason why I wore these is because I broke my ankle first night in Kathmandu, so I couldn't wear my boots. And man, I walked on the circuit for 16 days, and they worked without a flaw, except when I got to the pass. And this is why I bought some micro spikes and attached these to the shoes to get me out of trouble. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I sort of wanted to. It was a little bit foolish doing this.
Especially even coming down after the pass, all the rocks and that got pretty hard for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you know,
just wear some proper boots, but don't buy boots in Kathmandu and go and do the trail. Bring your boots from home that you've worn in. If you don't have a pair of boots that you've worn in, I think you're better off wearing a pair of runners or something that's comfortable. You don't want to be getting smashed by blisters and pain and not enjoy the whole hike.
Yeah. I'm just going to read off this little list here. Wi-Fi, don't expect to get Wi-Fi. You probably will have Wi-Fi for maybe
up to Manang,
maybe about 40% of your journey if you're walking from Bessie's High to Nightpool. Power, you're going to be able to charge up your stuff everywhere and you won't have to pay a fee. Showers,
they're pretty much free.
90% of the time you can shower for free. Blankets are provided in every guest house. You can order extra blankets, so you don't need a sleeping bag. I brought a sleeping bag and so did Joel, but we didn't need one. Micro spikes I had because I had my slippers. They weren't necessary. I'm glad that I had them though, because
I wish I had them, to be honest, for just going over that pass.
Yeah. Hiking sticks, they're not required, but probably recommended.
Yeah, really. Most people hiked with them.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with any of this gear, if you feel like it's something you're only going to use once, you can get most of it either super cheap in Kathmandu. It's obviously not going to be great quality, but it's generally good enough for a one-off use. Or you can hire pretty much anything in Kathmandu as well.
Definitely. And I don't know what that says there.
That says homies. Don't forget your homies.
Wait, what does that say? I feel like it's in
Tommies.
Tommies?
Tomias.
No.
Tombs. T-O-M.
Mices. If you can see what that says, is that gonna focus? Right there. Let us know in the comments, because I don't know what the that says. I got no idea. And that's basically that. Any final thoughts, Joel? Or?
If anyone's sort of thinking about doing the Annapurna, do it. It is a once in a lifetime hike. It's amazing. We did the full circuit. Skipping parts by Jeep doesn't look comfortable. No. And why skip part of a hike when that's what you're there for? You're there to walk it, so why jump in a Jeep and drive part of it? It just doesn't make sense to me. If you're really time poor and you got to get back to work, whatever, that's fair enough. But if you got some up your sleeve, do the whole circuit. A lot of people caught a Jeep from Muktanath, or they flew out from Johnson back to Pokhara, because that part of the track is supposed to be like a dirty, dusty road. And like there was a road for a little bit of it, but then after Johnson got Kalapani, that was an amazing part of the track. Yeah, it was one of my favorite parts, and people just like bypass it, honestly. Like walk the whole thing. It's amazing. Don't believe the hype. You hear on forums people saying, "Oh no, it's this and this and this." No, just walk the whole thing, and you love it. So just walk your own hike and make it what it is.
And if you're into your BMXing, you can actually ride a bike down.
You mean you're mountain biking?
Yeah, that's right. That's the one. You can mountain bike down and they will take your bags for you, which is an amazing service. Annapurna circuit, I would love to do it again. It was really a lot of fun, and I recommend you get your asses out there. All right, so stay tuned because we've got way more coming. We've got Everest Base Camp and the 3 passes. We've got Hong Kong, we've got Kazakhstan, Georgia, China, Mongolia. We're just walking through the middle of nowhere with a tent and a bag of rice and a fishing rod, and we're just gonna see how we go with it. Check out Instagram as well.
And subscribe to us if you want to keep up to date with where we're at in the world.
Subscribe to this channel. If you want to send some money to us, you know, flick me a message and I'll flick you back my account details. If you want to keep,
You're not waffling, are you, Marty?
Waffling? Where?
That was your waffle warning.
Alright, peace out guys, see you next time.